This video is sponsored by 7 Coffee Roasters. Today on Riffs, Beards, and Gear, we talk about my 5 favorite guitars that I wish they still made. So I've been recently doing some traveling, and there has been a lot of stuff lately, for me at least, that I go to maybe kind of search out or check out and go, oh, I wonder how much this particular piece of gear is, or I wonder if I can still get this. And a lot of the times, something I'm looking for, I find out is no longer made, and that kind of started a conversation with me and a couple of my friends on guitars that we wish were still made. And I realized there's actually quite a few guitars that I wish I either had but can't have because they don't make them anymore. So I'm going to pick out 5 of my favorite guitars that I wish they still made, and we're going to talk about them in this video. So guitar number 1 is one that I actually used to own several of before this internet YouTube thing happened, and that is the Ibanez SZ series. Now the Ibanez SZ series was introduced around I think in the early 2000s and discontinued in 2008, but you had 4 different trim levels. You had the SC 320, 520, and 720, and then you had the 2020 Prestige guitar, which you don't ever see. Every once in a while they'll pop up on Reverb, but these guitars were huge bang for the buck, and for me it was kind of a poor man's PRS. I had a gloss black SC 320 that was unbelievable, one of the best sounding, best recording guitars I have ever experienced, even to this day. And if you can find a good one, you're in for a real treat. Jared Dines actually has one of the best sounding SC 520s I have ever played or had the pleasure to record. These can still be found on the used market for about $400 or $500. Guitar number 2 that I wish they still made is the Gibson RD. No shocker there if you've seen anything on my channel before. And when I say Gibson RD, I mean the original version, the original spec and configuration of the RD, meaning a reissue with a 25.5-inch scale would be so amazing. Not with some weird electronics either. Give me an RD standard with some regular passive pickups, no expander or compressor circuit, 25.5-inch scale, call it good. These guitars are actually hilariously not that rare, even though there's apparently only about 2,000 made in the original run from 1977 to 1981. I have 2 1977 models, an entry-level standard and a top-of-the-line artist, which was above the custom trim level and was very, very expensive back in 1977. These guitars have always been a favorite of mine. They're big, they're weird, and they're just awesome. If there is one thing I love as much as beards, guitars, and amplifiers, it's coffee. And one of my favorite, actually, you know what, probably my favorite coffee place on the planet is 7 Coffee Roasters here in Seattle. Now there's a couple of different things that set 7 Coffee Roasters apart from other coffee companies, in my opinion, and I'm gonna tell you about them. The first thing is you can get, multiples of all sorts of different coffees delivered straight to your door for free if you're in the United States, and it will arrive fresh every single time. I love this part, and I just love smelling the package as well. Now, in addition to their huge selection of coffee, 7 Coffee Roasters also has a new subscription club called the Mahalo Club, and this is a subscription service they recently launched this year. And if you want to do a subscription service, you can use the code BEARDS20 to get 20% off your first 3 refills of your subscription. Now, if you don't want to do the subscription model right away, you don't want to dive in, I respect that. You just want to try some coffee. In that case, go ahead and use the code RIFFS20 to get 20% off your order of $45 or more. I highly recommend choosing the 3 packs because the 3 packs, you can just try a variety of things, the easiest, and that's it. You choose your coffees, you choose your grinds for each individual bag if you want something different per different bean, and then it arrives to your door nice and fresh. 7 Coffee Roasters, Fluff approved. I love these guys, and you should too. I will link down below for full details and info. Guitar number 3 that I wish they still made was the PRS Mike Mushok MM1, I believe it was called. This was the stained guitarist Mike Mushok's signature baritone PRS SZ guitar, and you can still find these pretty much anywhere you look. These were a 27-inch scale. I think they were just over 27-inch. I have my notes right here. It was a 27.7-inch scale guitar, which was crazy. And this actually introduced a lot of people to the baritone guitar. Previous to this, my recollection at least, was a lot of guitar players would simply gravitate towards 7-string guitars to get lower tuned stuff. And then Mike comes along and designs a PRS that's baritone, 6-string that can tune way, way down. These guitars are a lot of bang for the buck and can still be had for $700-800, I believe. Guitar number 4 that I wish they still made was the Schecter Blackjack Solo 6 ATX model. Yes, Betty White, the guitar that I built this YouTube channel with, I wish they still made. It was a really, really great guitar. And these guitars were made from about 2009 till about 2013, I think. My particular right one was the first year production. I think mine is the limited edition 2009 that I got from Drum City Guitarland. And for me at the time, I was looking for a Les Paul single cut style shaped guitar, but with a full 25.5-inch scale, locking tuners, stainless steel frets, and this thing came stock with Duncan blackouts at the time. How crazy is that? And it was like $900. I think with the case and tax and shipping, it came out to $1,100, but still, that was an incredible guitar, is an incredible guitar. I still have it to this day, and it is, I had so many songs. I wrote most of the songs for my old band Rest Repose on that song, on that guitar, and it was on, oh man, several hundred videos on this channel in the early days. It was literally my only guitar for a really long time. These guitars are really great and can still be found on the used market for very little money. And my 5th and final guitar that I wish they still made is the original Gibson Firebird Studio. Now, there has been several iterations of the Firebird Studio since this original run, but the very first iteration of the Firebird Studio from about 2004 to 2008-ish, the one that Dave Grohl used to play before he went to the ES style guitars, those guitars. As I remember, no one really cared about these guitars. They were cool, and I don't know, they were much less expensive than the neck through regular Gibson Firebirds, as these were a traditional set neck construction. I mean, it was just an awesome stripped down rock and roll machine in a Firebird format. It was an awesome, awesome guitar. And Dave Grohl is like the only player that I know of that played these guitars, you know, at that kind of level. But they had, you know, they had side tuners. They didn't have the banjo style tuners. Typically, I think they had a rosewood or ebony board, and yeah, came in 3 finishes, white, black, and cherry. Awesome guitar. I wish I could find one that was nice and clean. And that does it for my 5 favorite guitars that I wish they still made. Do you have a favorite guitar that you wish was still made? Leave a comment down below. Tell me about it. Maybe I'll make another couple of these videos. Maybe we'll go into amps as well. There's just a lot of cool stuff that I wish was still made. All the pickable links down below in the description. You've been wonderful. I've been Fluff. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. If you liked the video you just watched, please consider subscribing. And if you want to further support me and what I do, consider using some of the affiliate links down below in the description of this video. Go on over to Sweetwater, buy yourself something, and help me out at the same time. It's a win-win for both of us.